So check this story out. Yeah. It was 2016, and I was back in North Cyprus at the time, and it was my second year in university. And when I came in my first year, I was such a shy kid. I couldn't talk to girls. Not that I couldn't, I didn't, talk to girls much. I was just like, I was like a guy just living in his existence, like that nobody knew. Just going to school, go back to the dorm, go to school, go back to the dorm. That's it, nothing special, really. Quiet, shy guy and all that. And then I remember the summer after that, I was still, a quiet and a shy person, but I got a lot of exposure to different people, different girls from different countries and stuff like that. Did some silly things, but learned some things, as well, and whatnot. Anyways, right after that summer, I remember feeling so low and depressed and whatnot because, really at that point in my life, all I really wanted to do was play football. All my life, that's all I wanted to do, and I worked so hard and everything, and things had just not worked out up until that point, even when I was in Cyprus and all that, so I moved out to the dorm, and even playing football would even have become harder because it's not like in the dorm where all the boys were playing and we would play all the time now and all that. And then I always also liked, lifting weights and working out, in the gym. And, but I didn't, go hard with that because I never wanted to get too big to that would affect me in playing football and whatnot. But I remember some of the guys from the summer school, they started working out and stuff, and all that. And I went and I saw them. I saw the progress of a particular guy. His name was Tana and all that. His name was Tana. And I was like, man, I need to hit the gym, I need to come through, because I really wanted to do it though. And I started, and I don't even think people took me seriously when I started, I was just this slim guy, tall guy, and I just started working out, and I was working out every day, going every day. And those kind of people you see working out like that at the beginning, you think, oh, this person is going to fade. But, that was the point in my life where I broke through the 1 month barrier and all that. Anyways, I say all that to say this, I got really good at it. I became, I guess, more known around campus and around certain people and whatnot. Things had changed, but I was still this, relatively quiet guy. My first year, I didn't even know about, the Mr. University thing. I didn't even know it existed, but I heard about it. I didn't know who won. I didn't know anything about that. I was just this guy living in his own world, and people no one even knew me anyways, And I remember, I don't know if it was in March or April or something of 2016, a friend of mine says, let's go for this thing, for the practice, and I'm thinking, by the way, his name was Fadi. And I'm thinking, nah, man, this is just a joke. But anyways, I went with him, because it's my boy, so I went with him. And, we were doing all sorts of stuff, some things that I found corny, not that they are, it's just, different strokes for different folks. And doing all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, am I really going to go through with this thing? It was just funny to me. It was just like a joke, And then I remember the weeks were passing, I think it was a week or two and blah, blah, blah. Saw some familiar faces, some couple of girls I knew that were doing it. And I think 1 or 2 guys that I knew as well. But I was always like 50-50. I was just showing up and playing around, really, in the practice sessions and all that, just joking around. So closer to the event, I think a day before the event and whatnot, I was talking to both of my parents, I think, or my dad, one of the two. I think it was my dad on the phone, or both of them, right? Let's say both of them. And to put this in context, at that time, I didn't really speak to my parents that often, and whatnot. Not that we were not speaking often, but it was not like, whatever. So I'm talking on the phone with them, and I'm telling them about this thing, and I'm like, I need this to do this, I need this to do that, I need X amount, I need to buy this and buy that, stress out, blah, blah, blah. And I remember, I think it was my dad asking me, why do you want to do this anyway? I was, dad or mom, right? And they were like trying to question my motives and like, are you doing this for the right reasons or the vain thing, blah, blah. And I was at that time, I was so confused in life and with certain things, and I was like, I started asking myself, so yeah, why am I doing this anyways? I don't need to, stress myself and spend so much money to impress people and money that I really didn't have at that time, Anyways, so that was that. And then, so yeah, it was like, okay, so what am I gonna do? So I was like, okay, you know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna do it. True story, right? And then the next day, right, it was the day of the event, and I'm sitting in my apartment. I've already said I'm not gonna do it and whatnot. And then something came over me. This is like God is like so. Man, his ways are so strange. Yeah, sometimes you can't even imagine. Something came over me, and I was like, I felt like a release. Like, do it. Like no pressure, no stress, but just do it. I was like, for real. And I was really like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm sitting in my room, like I should have been there already, and I'm already running late for the event. I didn't even tell them I was not coming or something. Did I tell them? I can't remember, But I'm like, people start calling me like, where are you? And I'm like, I don't think I'm coming, whatever, And I just felt this release, like, go do it. But I'm like, okay, God, you want me to do this, but my hair is not. I haven't got a haircut. I'm not there. I should be there right now. I don't have a suit. I don't even have a pair of jeans, and I needed a pair of jeans, man. Just put that into context, right? I'm like, man, okay. So how am I gonna do this? So I called one of my friends, right? In fact, I called this guy that kind of inspired me to go hard in the gym. His name was Tana, like I said. And I called him. I was asking him if he had a suit that he could help me out with. He was like, sure. He'll help me out with the suit. I called another friend of mine who was like my best friend, back then in Cyprus. His name was Ayman. And I called him. I was like, man, I need a pair of jeans, to go to this thing and blah, blah, blah. He gracefully gave me a pair of jeans to go and whatnot. He couldn't come. I would have loved it if he could have come to be there because, like I said, he was my, best friend, So, but he couldn't make it for whatever reason. And so I go to his... let me try and remember how this happened exactly. I run to go get a haircut, right? I couldn't go to the barber I used to go to, my usual barber, because I think I was late. It was more expensive, I think. And whatever other reason, right? So I go